Foreign correspondent Maggie Rulli joins me live now from Lviv, Ukraine, along with White House correspondent Mary Alice Parks in Washington. And Maggie, I want to start with you because Lviv has become somewhat of a travel hub for refugees. So what are you seeing there today?
Yeah, exactly, Dan. We're seeing thousands of people making it from those hard-hit eastern cities, making their way through Lviv to get to safety. You know, we're outside a university right now. This is where students are supposed to be in school, but classes are canceled. Everyone here is volunteering. We're just in what used to be their student union. Instead, they're knitting together camouflage tents. They're writing letters to send to the front lines. You know, Lviv really feels like everyone here in this community will do anything to help their country right now. We were at the train station earlier today. I mean, that is where you just see this refugee crisis firsthand. Again, thousands of people, all of them practically women and children. And we met some of the first Americans that have come here to Ukraine to help. They're with Samaritan's Purse. They set up an outpatient clinic right at the base of that train station. They're seeing a lot of people that just have basic needs. And we met with one doctor, an operating ER doctor from California. He made it here to Ukraine a few days ago. He's already meeting with patients. They just opened this morning. And he said for him, he's been doing this for years with Samaritan Purse. And there's always this aspect of humanity. And this tragedy, while man-made, is similar to so many others because it's when you can help your fellow man. Take a listen to what he had to say.
And that's why we do this. You know, it is really the parable of the Good Samaritan. You know, who's my neighbor? Well, they're my neighbor.
You may have noticed there was just dozens of people walking behind him coming off of that train. They had just come in from cities that have been hard hit. Their outpatient clinic is right there. He said often people have fled so quickly, they left behind medicines that sometimes they need to survive. So they're there to provide them and help them with that. They also have seen so many women, many of them pregnant, infants that need immediate care and help as well. And they're even setting up a field hospital, Diane, nearby and a parking garage that can do up to 15 surgeries a day. I mean, this whole city is hoping for the best, but really preparing for the worst, Diane.
Yeah, this is hard enough for people who don't need that kind of medical care, let alone for the people who do. And Mary Alice, while all this is going on, Vice President Kamala Harris is meeting with allies in Europe. She announced that the U.S. has delivered Patriot missile systems to Poland. So how significant is that, and how will they be used?
Yeah, Diane, while the president has made it clear that U.S. troops will not be serving in Ukraine, he has also said repeatedly that U.S. troops will be ready to defend every inch of NATO territory. And this latest delivery of a serious weapon systems to Poland is a part of that effort to really strengthen NATO defenses. It's a little ironic that President Putin had said all along he didn't like the hardening of those NATO lines. He didn't like the militarization of those NATO lines. And yet with this invasion, what he's done is really make the United States committed to making sure that those Eastern European nations, that easternmost flank of NATO, has the support it needs. Obviously, we've seen Russia just firing dozens, hundreds of missiles and in the last few days. And the concern, of course, is that one of those could miss. One of those could land in Poland. Would that trigger a response not only from Poland, but a response from the entire NATO alliance? So this missile system that the U.S. delivering, really a part of the United States and NATO standing with Poland, living up to its commitments there, Diane.
And Maggie, Ukraine is again trying to evacuate thousands of civilians through these humanitarian corridors, but they say Russian forces are preventing that from happening, at least in the city of Mariupol. What's the latest on that?
Yeah, I know we've been following Mariupol closely right now. The deputy mayor there is calling what's going on there war crimes. He's saying that Russian troops right now are still trying to encircle the city, comparing it to a medieval siege. Right now, we know evacuation routes were supposed to be set up to allow those civilians to escape. At least in Mariupol, the mayor there says there have been shelling and bombings all day. No civilians have been able to leave that city, and that's a huge concern. Not only the shellings and the bombings that we know have killed more than 1,200 people in that city, but also for the people left behind. The ICRC is saying there's still hundreds of thousands of people left in that city. There's no more drinking water. Many people are running out of food. There's very little shelter left. This is a huge crisis, they say, is becoming dire and only going to get worse.
So, Mary Alice, Vice President Harris also announced that the U.S. would donate $50 million in humanitarian assistance to the UN World Food Program. What impact could that have, particularly with the kind of victims that Maggie's talking about?
Yeah, Dan, clearly the U.S. is trying to move money out the door quickly. They're trying to get support on the ground as fast as they can. We know that there's representatives of USAID already on the ground helping with some of that food assistance, helping with some of that emergency relief. We know that members of Congress have been debating these bills for much larger packages. The House already passing a bill. It'll probably quickly get to the president's desk that would call for billions of dollars in humanitarian assistance, economic relief to help with the crisis. But they're trying to get money out the door faster because the need is great and the need is urgent. They know that they need to help Poland, help these countries now that are just seeing this unbelievable influx of refugees.
All right, Mary Alice Parks and Maggie Rulli, always great to talk to you both. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.